All right, Vestals, welcome to Tony Talks Vested Up Compelling Sports Edge. Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. And if you don't know about now, Judge John Roach was accused after 1 hour of deliberation today in Collin County, Texas, McKinney County, Texas, McKinney County. All right. So tomorrow is the motion for a new trial. And yes, a new judge by the name of Judge Michael McChitty, Chitty, has been assigned to the case. Michael Chitty, Chitty. Okay, that's his name. So the motion for a new trial is tomorrow. Karmelo Anthony legal battle over his 35-year conviction and the guilty verdict that they charged against this young man for premeditated M-word. Breaking news. On day 71, a major development has occurred. Judge John Roach has been recused from the Karmelo Anthony remaining post-trial proceedings. Visiting Judge Sid Harle granted the defense a motion on Wednesday, August the 19th of 2026, finding that although he believed John Roach could personally remain found, and I think that's just PR, Roach public comments could be a cause for reasonable outside observer to question his impartiality. We already know that's not going to happen. We already know that. Everybody is praying for a mistrial than a retrial in Collins County. Say, what you say, Tony? I'm saying everybody that helped orchestrate this case against Karmelo Anthony, I bet behind the scenes, they are praying for a mistrial instead of a retrial. Because do you know how many people will go down? Think about it. But the legal battle is not over. The next major proceeding is scheduled tomorrow, August the 20th, 2026, when the court is expected to hear Karmelo Anthony motion for a new trial. A new judge is expected to handle the remaining trial court proceedings following John Roach's recusal. And as I stated, his name is Judge Michael Chitty. And guess what? He came out of retirement. He came out of retirement to preside over the motion for a new trial tomorrow. You heard right. So let me go ahead. Vestas, today, thank you so much for tuning in to get all the latest information and to get an update regarding the case. And as I said, it only took less than an hour and a half, actually. It only took less than an hour. Come to find out, according to LegalDocTalk, thank you, Sister Cassandra. When I listened to her whole entire video after I laid down and tried to recover, she said, and also I think I heard none of the guilty boys, I think one of them said that it took Russell Wilson only 35 minutes. Only 35 minutes to plead his case. And then they watched the 18-minute video. And after that, maybe the judge took about a 10 or 15-minute break. I'm just saying this because to try to get it equal up to 60 minutes. But it only took 60 minutes for him to say he don't believe that John Roach could be impartial with Karmelo Anthony's new trial. And I totally agree. So here's a reminder, and I'm still going to read the MEs, the prosecution, the defense attorneys, Mr. Shook, when he cross-examined the medical examiner, and y'all already know about the second wound. And for everybody that didn't catch the live and know about the second wound that actually came up on the first day of trial, and the jury still found Karmelo Anthony guilty, why they ain't talking about the second wound that was brought up in the first trial? Now, the first adult, listen now, and I'm still going to say this in the algorithm and put this in the algorithm. Why is it the first adult that attended to Austin Metcalf, he spoke of the abdominal wound and not a chest wound? I got that proof. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and share. I want to bring up the legal docs channel and video for y'all go out to support her. I actually watched the whole entire hour and 20 minutes. Very good details that she put in that in her video, where it seemed like I can actually was in the courtroom with her. She explained everything down to the T. And shout out to Legal Docs. Shout out to her. Guess what? According to her, and based on what she said, let's go ahead and wish her congratulations. Let's go ahead and wish her congratulations, because she said that the no guilty boys will start collaborating with her or working with her, or they're going to hire her to be a paralegal for some of their cases. Look at God. Look at God. Yes. 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 She'll be working with, or she's going to call them to try to work on some type of agreement so she can start working on some paralegals tasks for their firm, y'all. That is a good thing. That's a good thing. So go out to this channel, LegalDocTalk. Hopefully one day LegalDocTalk and Tony Talks vested up, we get together. But hey, I know we got busy worlds and busy lives and busy professionals, but one day we'll try to make it happen. I would like to make it happen. But this is her channel. So I want to go ahead and bring up, it's a piece I want to play in here. Now, I'm just going to give you a rundown in what she said in her video. I'm only going to play a little bit of a video because I definitely want you to go out and support it. This video right here, Karmelo Anthony motion to recuse is granted. But I want to give you a rundown of the notes that I took regarding her video, and then we're going to get into what the medical examiner said, and also just to remind you of the 4 grounds tomorrow that Karmelo Anthony legal team led by Russell Wilson will deliberate to Judge Michael Chitty. His name is so new. I got to get it in my head. So this right here. So this is what she said. Lee Merritt was there today. They also had Pastor, what's his name? Frank Hammond. He was there out in the audience. What else? She's going to have a new working relationship with no guilty boys. That is good. Russell Wilson only took 35 minutes to plead his case or deliberate in front of the Judge Sid Harle. Thank you so much, Sid Harle, for doing what you're doing. Now, she also said when they was in the overflow room, they didn't expect this, but Karmelo Anthony walked in. And she said it brought tears to everybody's eyes, that the whole entire courtroom got emotional just to see him. But also, she commented on how small he had gotten, or he was, how tiny he was. So please continue to send up prayers for Karmelo Anthony. I'm pretty sure he's been stressed out in the last 71 days. Hopefully now he's going to eat a little more. I don't know if he's just always small. Even the prosecution called him tiny. But I'm pretty sure he's definitely a lot smaller than what he was a year and a half ago, because of all of this stress and this pressure in his life. But even she had to comment on how small he was and how tiny he was. So let's continue to say a prayer for Karmelo Anthony and his mental state and his physical state, because I'm pretty sure this is trying times. But hopefully he was able to hear all the cheers and hear all of the love outside of the courtroom and in the courtroom. Oh man, when the cheers went out in the background of Andrew Whitaker speaking, you could hear the cheers. You could hear the cheers and see the people outside of the courtroom. Whoo! It was a high power frequency in the atmosphere. And guess what? They said they're coming back tomorrow early just to have a prayer vigil. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, the sisters and brothers was out there. And you know it was mostly sisters. Collin County, the local residents, thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for what you're doing and what you did today for that family and Karmelo Anthony. Don't listen. Don't get me started. Let me go and play a little bit of this video. One second. I already know the thumbnail. Let's see here.
He just only felt the.
All right, let me see. Make sure, hey, let me know if you can hear this right here. Hello, Vestas. Make sure you go ahead and get your notes, your drink, and your vest. Today and this afternoon is a very good day. And we got one more battle tomorrow. So wherever you at in this world, no matter what you doing, court is going to start tomorrow again at 9 o'clock. And I'm still going to declare and decree it. I messed that up. Declare and decree it. Just like today, it didn't take 3 hours. It only took 1 hour. And tomorrow, based on what's in that appeal packet, Mike Howard affidavit, and all of the evidence and whatever else his legal team could talk about, it should not take a whole day. They said, I think it was 2 weeks ago, they're predicting, or they had projected that the motion for a new trial could take a whole entire day. I don't see that happening. I can't see that happening. So I'm still going to be on the lookout. Make sure you have your notification bell on for tomorrow. So even if you work it, you can hear me in your ear. Whoo! I don't even think it's going to take 3 hours. I think the lawyers and Karmelo should be out by lunchtime. I said it. The lawyers and Karmelo should be out by lunchtime. By lunchtime. Whew. Come on, sister. I think I got it right.
$100, and y'all was gonna release them anyway. I was pissed. All right, so back to this. Russell also talked about the pretrial documents. I was reading, I think it was the June 4th transcript, and it talked about the pretrial transcript, and if you're not the transcripts, the pretrial documents. So that's like the 404B, the motion in limine. All of those are pretrial documents that you have to file before a trial.
Listen,
and then it's stated, and it's in the transcript, so it's there. So in the transcripts, they say, okay, we tendered the pretrial documents, but it wasn't docketed. And y'all know, y'all know how I told y'all. The district clerk is the file custodian. That is why we can go and we can ask for, okay, can I get a copy, a certified copy of my divorce decree or this motion that was filed? Because they are the custodians of record. So anything that's given to the judge during a trial or a hearing or whatever, once the court reporter do whatever they need to do, it goes to the district clerk for filing, and then we can see it on the docket. The pretrial motions were never filed.
Do y'all hear that? Collins County didn't even follow proceedings, even regarding the pretrial documents. Who do this? There shouldn't even been a trial then. You don't file the pretrial documents? Oh, Judge Roach, you got that confident, or you had to accelerate or slow down or whatever you was doing behind the scenes because somebody must have called you and said, you got to make this happen. They forgot about the basics of filing. Let me play.
And in the transcript, they said they just tendered, but they didn't file them. But they was going to intentionally file them after trial, in which they did not do. All right. And lastly, Russell left off where Roach stated that he did things according to the law.
Y'all listen to this.
Failed to address the pretrial documents and all the other stuff that he didn't do by law. Like what? That you have to file the documents. That's a requirement. Now we're getting on to the state, y'all, because this is
here you go. Listen.
When I tell y'all, they should have just stayed home. I asked the girl next to me, I said, is this his argument? Baby, I said, is this his argument?
Y'all listen to this.
Girl, y'all, they should have stayed in bed. They should have stayed at the office for that. The first thing that came out this man's mouth was they did not know if they need to defend Roach or not.
The state is saying this, y'all.
He then asked if Roach did anything wrong. Then he said he knew Judge Roach, and he believes that Judge Roach did speak on just his courtroom procedures.
Now, she is saying, I guess the lawyer that was defending Judge Roach, this is what they asked the court. Do they need to defend Judge Roach? You heard what she just said. And then whoever the lawyer is that spoke for Judge Roach, he said he don't think that Judge Roach did anything wrong. But the first question that got me that she said, he must have stood up and said, do we have to defend Judge Roach? Come on, sister, come on.
And he does believe that when Judge Roach said the jury got it right, he believed that.
Who?
That who said I'm about to go do some backflips? Y'all funny. Then he addressed that social media influencers had a big part in all of this commotion. He said they're even here today. Baby, I started laughing. Baby, when I say, I was there, I'm not big, you know what I'm saying? But I do a little something. But you had Nick at Night there. You had Miss Cynthia out there. If y'all follow, she's real big on Facebook. We had Tiffany Billions there. We had Dominique Alexander there. And then, like I said, with the Not Guilty Boys was there. Michael and
Andrew.
We had Lee Merritt there.
Yes.
Pastor Freddie Haynes. Man,
Freddie Haynes.
People was in the building, bro.
Yeah.
When I say the support was supporting,
yes.
The support was supporting.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You know what, Percy, for real, it could have been a Zoom call. They wasted their gas coming over here because what? So the state said.
So basically, she's saying whoever represented Judge Roach, they didn't even put up an effort, y'all. Even they know Judge Roach messed this up. They ain't trying to really put no effort into this when they know that John Roach really messed up. And y'all, you can't tell me Judge Sid Harle didn't look at Mike Howard's affidavit, even though he couldn't address it. Now tomorrow. If Mike Howard wasn't in there today, she didn't say that Mike Howard appeared today. But Mike Howard definitely should be in the courtroom tomorrow. Motion for a new trial. And I'm going to go over that tonight. Very lightly. Because by the time I get on, if we don't have any updates, I'll be going into a little bit more depth, just highlighting the major parts of Mike Howard's affidavit, even for the trolls, that since Fox News and all the mainstream media ain't really reporting nothing to them, they lost, y'all. They lost cause. But also for the investors and the viewers that didn't have a hard time or didn't, wasn't able to get through all the lives, because y'all, I did counting behind the scenes. And the investors have participated over 60 lives regarding Karmelo Anthony in 71 days. Hallelujah. Let me calm down. But for the state or whoever was representing Judge Roach, because she didn't call out no name, so I don't know who was speaking for Judge Roach. But they said, do we really gotta defend? Let me play a little bit. But for Judge Roach, now she may say it, or she may say it earlier, and I didn't snip it, but she may be about to say it or said it earlier. But John Roach, you already heard what he said about content creators. So he's blaming this on content creators for sparing up and causing all of this ruckus. And also, I think she's about to say that John Roach, or she has said it, guess what? Is intimidated by social media and content creators. I said, I know that John Roach ain't said he's intimidated by content creators and social media. Come on to the stage, sister. Maybe she's about to say it.
That social media influencers had a part of all this big commotion that was going on. I
know her.
And they also stated that the whole thing was they wanted to keep Karmelo safe. That's why they did the things that they did.
Y'all hear this?
To keep Karmelo safe.
Y'all hear this?
He also mentioned about how we complained about the open letter in court. He said, by Judge Roach showing gratitude to all the workers in Collin County, that does not result in a recusal. That's what he said.
Y'all hear
That's
this?
what he said.
Y'all hear this?
And then he ended it with Judge Roach did not do anything wrong.
I wish I would have known his name.
Yes. Y'all not guilty, boys. It is so crazy because y'all know I'm a freelance paralegal, right? So I spoke with Michael, and I'm gonna be utilizing my paralegal services.
Congratulations, sis. Congratulations.
Shout out to the not guilty boys.
Congratulations.
All right. So Russell Wilson replied. He addressed, look, none of the pretrial documents were filed. Those off-record conversations was not on record. Your reasoning for doing what you did is not on record.
Amen. I throw the whole thing
of it. And that open letter that you talk about, guess what? You submitted that letter during the time where Karmelo could have filed a notice of appeal or a motion for a new trial. So either way, you still violated the canon.
Amen. Listen, go out and listen to this video. This is the video title right here. This is the channel LegalDocTalk. Karmelo Anthony motion to recuse. She actually was in there, like she said, she is a real paralegal, and she was able to pull down on the motion. She's able to talk to people behind the scenes. So please go out and support this sister. Also, your favorite paralegal. She got LegalDoc here, but she got several different channels. But please go out and support this sister, because tomorrow I already told her I'll be waiting for her update. So there it is, y'all. There it is. Ooh. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Thank you. Now, this is what. Let me start with the motion for a new trial, just to give a quick update on that, and then I'm gonna walk you through the medical examiner's cross-examination that we punched holes in. And then I'm gonna let y'all go, because I'm gonna be back online tomorrow morning. Like I said, about 10:30, 11 o'clock, because I do see where it may go longer than 1 hour tomorrow. And of course, I just don't want to be sitting up here, because I will talk you to death. I'll be giving you so much information, you may be tired before even the updates come out. So I want to make sure that I gauge myself accordingly. I don't want to waste your time, and I just don't want to sit up here telling you all about the stuff that came out in all the other lives. So keep your notifications on, and I'll be on between 10:30 and 11 o'clock in the morning, because I'm still going to have my ear to the ground, right? And then also, she's going to be posting some updates under her comments. So when I go live, just know. Okay. Now let me share my screen again. And this is Karmelo Anthony, the actual official appeal process. Now, this is what they're going to present tomorrow in front of the new Judge Michael Chitty, Chitty, okay, that came out of retirement. First grounds for new trial. The trial court violated defendants, which is Karmelo Anthony's Sixth Amendment right to a public trial by materially restricting public access to trial proceedings without the findings and alternates required by the Waller, Presley, and Stricker cases, okay? So that's the first ground for Karmelo Anthony new trial. And just by this alone, even John Roach said that he limited the media and the public from coming into the court, and that is definitely against Karmelo Anthony's Sixth Amendment rights, okay? Now the second grounds, because it's 4 grounds that the Karmelo Anthony new legal team led by Russell Wilson, they going in front of the new judge tomorrow with. Second grounds for a new trial. Now, this is it. This is part of, now, when I was reading this the first time, of course, I didn't have all the pieces, but now I totally understand what the second grounds for a new trial is. The second grounds is the state's repudiation of the parties' unrecorded agreement, which is that secret gentleman's agreement, limiting character evidence. So I saw another podcast today, and they didn't understand, or they was mad at why the legal attorney for Karmelo Anthony it wasn't allowed to bring up his background and all the accomplishments and the scholarships and his GPA, is because Mike Howard agreed with the prosecution and the state, and the judge knew this, not to bring up Karmelo Anthony background, because the prosecution, Mr. Bill Wiki and Greg Willis, I ain't forgot your name, DA, Greg Willis, since they wanted to suppress, not you, baby, suppress Hunter's and Austin's background, they troubling background, they bullying history, their disciplinary actions, their arrest records, all of the graffiti arrests and everything else that those boys had in their backgrounds, to show that they were terrible people and young men in the public in Collin County. They said, well, we want y'all to suppress, this is the prosecution, since we're going to suppress the twins' Metcalf background, it would be unfair if you bring up Karmelo Anthony background, such his background is such crystal clean, and he has this awesome family and this 21 scholarships, this 3.7 GPA. Oh, captain of this, he's the member of the chess, he's this. They say, well, you don't bring up the Metcalfs, and you can't bring up Karmelo Anthony background, because people will start asking and questioning, well, if Karmelo Anthony got all this to lose, he's not a killer, he's not a murderer, he's not a serial killer, he's not a scumbag. So what we gonna do is, we ain't gonna bring up nobody background. I bet the trolls are shocked now. You thought Karmelo Anthony was really the monster that Fox News and Nancy Grace pictured and talked about and publicized. Gotcha. So the state's repudiation of the parties' on-record agreement limiting character evidence after the defense relied on it. Now that's true. Even the defense, after the defense relied on it. Look at this. Coerced the waiver for the defendant's right to testify. Oh yeah, Mike Howard's affidavit tells all of this. Yes, Mike Howard agreed to the agreement, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure some angels came to visit Mike Howard, and his conscience got the best of him, because in under 30 days, Mike Howard turned over 30 paragraphs in his affidavit explaining how they railroad Karmelo Anthony. Denied him a complete defense. Whoo, you can't deny that. So based off this second ground, hey y'all, based off this second ground here, I can 9 times out of 10 say that Mike Howard will definitely and should get called, because how else are you gonna prove this? How is the Karmelo Anthony new defense is gonna stand on this? Yes, Mike Howard affidavit is included in the 193-page appeal document, but if I was the new judge, hey, is Mike Howard here? Mike Howard, come to the stand, approach the stands. I'll sworn him in and ask him all I need to ask. Mike Howard, once you get right here and Mike Howard testifies to it, we shouldn't have to worry about the grounds, the third ground or the fourth ground for a new trial. This right here, all along, this right here, listen, I would love to hear that the case has been dismissed, but definitely a retrial and Karmelo Anthony getting released tomorrow without conditions or with conditions, because that means if he didn't have a complete defense and he was coerced in his right to testify, well, what we talking about? Why would Karmelo Anthony still sit behind bars waiting for, let's say, more weeks and more months when he didn't even get a fair shake in the first trial? I hope the judge do the right thing. Let him walk out tomorrow. He's not going nowhere. He's not going nowhere. The haters and the trolls and the distractors and the Metcalfs. Yes, I'm even going to say the Metcalfs. They caused his father to lose his job. He was the only provider of the family. Where is Karmelo Anthony going to go? He's not going to lose the state. He's not going to leave the state, because the Metcalfs, that family don't got no money coming in. The judge need to issue dismiss it, call a mistrial, can't call a mistrial, give him a new court date, and release him with conditions, especially with the second grounds. What we talking about? But yes, coerce and not the right to testify. Judge Roach did that. Now the third ground, that's the second ground, the third ground for a new trial. The court unsupported provocation instructions improperly limit the defendant's right to a self-defense. Once again, some of the biggest violations in this case. And this right here, also this right here, I'm pretty sure, and I saw the provocation and the instructions that the judge gave to the jury. They even said the instructions that judge gave to the jury was incorrect. But still, it still took somebody, it still should have been somebody in that 12-man/woman jury that had common sense. Either say, I can't vote on this, I can't stand for this, make it a hung jury, or say not guilty. I wonder how they be sleeping for the last 71 days. I even heard that Hunter Metcalf didn't even come to court today. I heard his parents was there. Jeff is rolling over in that bottle. Oh, Jeff is sick. His mother is sick. I know Hunter is sick, but we shall see. All of Collin County that had their hand in this trial right here is sick. Oh, I know they sick. They worried. You mean to tell me the big piece of chicken is outside of the box? John Roach has been recused. You have no more cover, Collin County. You have no more cover, Jeff Metcalf. You have no more cover, Pat Fowler. You have no more cover, Ken Paxton. Who else do I need to call out? You have no more cover. All the people behind the scenes, everybody that doctored up the video, you have no more cover. Hey, the medical examiner, you have no more cover. Dr. Elizabeth Ventura, you have no cover. You know what? I would have gave you much grace, but you didn't do it. So I have no grace and mercy for you. Why did the 2D diagram that you presented in court, and I forgot it was stated exhibit 23 or whatever it was, you didn't even mark Austin Metcalf abdominal womb, the abdominal womb, the stomach wound where I really think that Karmelo must have hit him. You didn't even do your documentation right. That means all the autopsies that you've done in Collin County, especially when it comes against black bodies, should be in question, just like what Sarah Turner's autopsies up there in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. All y'all had to do was do y'all job. All you had to do was do your job and be neutral. So now any woman now, any professional woman out there now we got to deal with this. Somebody's going to question our ability to do the right thing. You mean to tell me in both of these cases, high profile cases, we got women, medical examiners that can be influenced by the male peers? Now you don't set all women back in profession, especially the MEs. Think about all of our sisters, our black sisters that could be MEs. You know how many people now is going to double think they work? Hey, did she leave out? And you know they gonna say, oh, because she's black. Oh, we gonna double check that work now. But let me keep going. But this right here, third ground for a new trial. The court's unsupported provocation instructions improperly limited defense right for a self-defense. What we talking about? Let's go to the fourth one. Fourth ground. And even if they didn't have 1, 2, or 3, just because John Roach has been recused officially, this right here should stick. The fourth grounds for a new trial. A new trial should be granted in the interest of justice. And I'm going to say public trust. So tomorrow, if we're waiting on, here go Mike Howard's affidavit in Exhibit 10. If we're still waiting on an update, I'm going to go through this right here. It's only 30 paragraphs, but you need to see what Mike Howard wrote in his affidavit that's included in Karmelo Anthony appeal packet. Some of this stuff, the way, the information that he put in here, the prosecution even had him agree to not to call no experts on behalf of Karmelo Anthony. Even the prosecution even got so specific where it told Mike Howard what his mother could say on the stands. And for anybody, all the people on social media that said that Mike Howard, oh, that affidavit don't have nothing to stand on. So why did Karmelo Anthony mother, under pressure and under the guidance of Mike Howard, said verbatim everything that he told her to say that's included in this affidavit? Because I can't see where Kayla, without guidance and suggestions and recommendations from Mike Howard, just to say 3 sentences. Ain't no mother would only say 3 sentences when you see my son sitting right there, you can't, listen, I still would be talking on the stands if I was his mother. If it was my kids or somebody that I knew, they would have to tell me to be quiet. That's how I know she was pressured. She was trying to do the right thing by listening to somebody she was paying $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 to, because, hey, Mr. Anthony, I got your best. I got your best interest in my hands, especially for Karmelo Anthony. I'm the legal attorney. I'm the defense attorney. You paying me to do this. This is the guidance I'm going to give you and my family. That's when the family said, a day or so after the guilty verdict, when they appeared on the Breakfast Club, I feel like we've been set up. That's what they said. I feel like we've been set up. Woo! So I'm going to go over this tomorrow. Okay? Now, what I'm about to read from you to you is going to be, let's see, where's my stuff at? Let's see here, volume 6. I'm going to read what the medical examiner, what she said in her cross-examination. I'm going to let you come up with your own conclusion. And for everybody else that have already heard it, listen to it again and just picturize what they saying. Because I said, why? I said, first of all, I see where Shook is going, Toby Shook is going. I said, but why are they talking like this? Why are they talking in hypotheticals? Why are they talking about what kind of force could cause this injury? Why is the injury front and back? And you'll see it. Hold on. Ventura. You'll see this right here. And she gave her, y'all, guess what? So Coach Redmond talked about the womb on the 4th. She gives her testimony. So this is actually on Saturday. She gave her testimony on Saturday, the medical examiner. Elizabeth Ventura, cross-examined. She was cross-examined by the state on 210, on page 210. Here we go. And I ain't gonna keep it long, but I want to share this information. Mr. Shook says, I have cross-examination by Mr. Shook. I have a few questions for you, Dr. Ventura. In your drawing, in your reporting, your drawing, if I could see, Mr. Shook said, is it over there? You listed the womb being obliquely oriented. She says, yes. And then he says, can you explain? And I believe you said from left superior to right inferior. Could you explain to the jury what that meant? What you meant by? She says, yes. So the point on the body to the left side of the body on the diagram, it has a little bit of a higher position on the body. This side, she says, yes. So that is the superior angle of the defect. The higher is higher up from the head. And the opposite side of it is more inferior. And so it is just giving a description to the womb that did not enter the body horizontally, completely horizontally or vertical. It has a little angle at it. So everything that we know in plain and simple, everything that we know We already know from two redacted witnesses' testimonies that I read, Karmelo Anthony was sitting down and Austin is the one that had stood up, not directly in front of him, but from the side. And we already found out through all the testimonies that Karmelo Anthony is right-handed. So if Karmelo Anthony is right-handed, how can he hit Austin in the chest with his hand bent like this to make that angle? It's impossible. That's why somebody else had to hit Austin in the chest, whoever they covering for. Okay, now let's keep going. And obviously in your career, you have seen all different type of angles when it comes to the knife wounds penetrating the body. See, now hindsight is 2020. Now I know why they talking about the angles. And for all the vessels that's been here, now we know why they're talking about the angles. Correct. With this one oblique, it is more slightly oblique. It probably can be seen better in the photos, but it is not at a 45-degree angle, for instance. That was a question. She says, correct. Did it appear to you that it almost could be horizontal? Even like this, even like this, why would Karmelo Anthony hit Austin like this when he could hit him like this? Do you see what I'm saying? Why would Karmelo Anthony have a knife and hit him like this in the chest when he's been attacked versus like this? See, like this, that means to me, when you got somebody, when you got a wound like this, that means it seemed to me the weapon came from the side like this, not like this. Everybody said Karmelo Anthony was sitting down, so why would he go like this? Why would he go like this? Matter come to find out, Karmelo Anthony ain't do neither, because nobody said they saw Karmelo Anthony hit him in the chest. Two witnesses said they didn't even see Karmelo Anthony with the weapon, but they saw his hands in the bag. Now, one guy said he was sitting right here, knee to knee with Karmelo Anthony right here, or right here. Now, he said Eddie was right here, Karmelo here in the middle, and he's here, because he said Karmelo Anthony squeezed in between them. So you mean to tell me Karmelo Anthony is right here, you see his hands in the book bag, but you don't see what he pulled out, or if he pulled out anything? But let's keep going. Think about it tonight. And you could tell by looking at the wound if it caused a single edge or a double edge, if it was caused by a single edge or double edge weapon. She says no, both the angles were sharp. And so in this case, it's just looking at the defect on the chest. In the pictures, it is hard to say that one angle was sharper, but one angle was blunt. But both of the pictures appeared to be sharp. We can stop right here. Well, Tony, why you want to stop right here? Why they only talking about the wound in his chest? We already ran through this whole entire document through the other live. Not one time did Dr. Ventura in her 12 pages or 15 pages or 10 pages or 8 pages of testimony did she even mention an abdominal wound. That's why I said we can stop right here. Even the prosecution didn't even bring up an abdominal wound. Don't y'all think that's suspicious? Let's keep going. Okay, as you see, I want to get to what Mr. Shook, how Mr. Shook set this up, that I said, oh my gosh, Mr. Shook is describing what happened under the tent. I'm gonna get to it. Okay, this is the question. And what you're seeing is by knife that was shown for your demonstrative evidence, is that the type of knife that could cause that wound, or where there is only one side of the blade, but it still could appear that both sides were sharp. She says yes. And you said that the knife penetrated near is where the collages of the sternum comes together with the wound. She said yes. Hey y'all. Hold on. Revisiting this is going to be good. Hold on. Did it go through the bone or just part of the cartilage? She said a cartilage. It said, is that near the sternum? She says yes. You estimate Is it exact depth of a 2.5 inches from penetration of the womb? Is that as best as you could get? She said, yes, it is approximated. Okay, do you feel that it's pretty accurate though? She says, yes. As far as sometimes you get to ask questions about how much force was used to cause the stab wound, do you not? Yes. Now, when I was reading this for the first time, that's when I started making these facial expressions. I was like, what they talking about the force? What they talking about the force? I'm finna tell you why they was talking about the force. Do you have any way of measuring force with a knife wound? And I'm still curious. She says, no. It says, okay. A stab wound to the skull sometimes would be, you would need a whole lot of force for that. She says, correct. One indicator would be if you know, or if the police, let's say, know the weapon, they are in possession of the weapon that caused it. In the case of blank, let's say you having a 4-inch depth stab wound, but the weapon that caused the wound is only 3 inches in length. Does that indicate a lot of force was used to cause that particular knife wound? Hold y'all. Y'all, I see what they're doing now knowing all the pieces. Now, she already said that the wound, I'm assuming in the chest, was 2.5 inches, and the blade was 3.5 inches, right? So now, and like I said before, I said, well, why are they talking about hypothetical, about force, about the blade going deeper than what the inches is? Y'all, guess what they doing? Guess what they doing? Even though the second womb is not mentioned, right? They're trying to get an understanding on how and why the abdominal wound was deeper than the knife. Think about it. Because she already said, look, she already said up here that you estimate its depth is 2.5 inches from the penetration of the womb, right? So that should be the end of it, right? So why are they talking about how much force to be used to cause a stab wound? Y'all, this is when they're hypothetically talking about the abdominal wound without bringing up the abdominal wound. Look at this. How, is there a way of measuring force for a knife wound? She says no, right? You will need a whole lot of force when it comes to the skull. She says correct. Okay, here we go. So let's say you have a 4-inch depth stab wound, but the weapon that caused the wound is only 2 inches. Does that indicate a lot of force would use to cause a particular knife wound? When they got right here, I said, investors that was in here, didn't I say, why does it seem like they're talking about another womb or another wife? I said, why are they talking about something different? Because she already, from what we first heard of, the chest wound was only 2.5 inches. The blade was 3 inches. They said Karmelo Anthony blade didn't go all the way in, right? But I'm saying, why are they talking about a 4-inch depth wound for a weapon that can only have 2 inches blade? So they're talking about Karmelo Anthony's weapon, but they wanted to understand. It's funny how they did it. They're talking about the abdominal wound, but they're trying to frame it as in the chest wound, but the chest wound death has already been answered, but they're kind of disguise it where they're talking about the chest, but they actually trying to understand or put it in the transcript about Austin's abdominal wound, because when Austin fell on the abdominal wound, if the blade was only 2 to 3 inches, I guess they want to put in the transcripts that the wound was actually deeper because he fell on it. Hold on. Let's put this together. I hope y'all catch what I put down. Does this indicate a lot of force was used on that particular knife wound? She says yes. Look, it could mean that the person pressed deep on the body in order to make it go deeper inside the body than the length of the blade. Now, at this point, I say, well, everybody said that Karmelo Anthony was sitting down. We read this first, and then we read the testimony, the witness testimony, and they said Karmelo Anthony was sitting down. So I was like, well, Karmelo Anthony was only 130 pounds, 160 pounds. What kind of force did he have? Y'all, once again, Austin Metcalf, when he passed away, she weighed him at 213 pounds. This is where the impalement theory comes from. When he pushed Karmelo down or jacked him up or pushed him down so hard that his body leaned on top of Karmelo Anthony, he impaled himself on the Leatherman that Karmelo Anthony had. So this is why they're asking these type of questions, because I'm like, this has nothing to do with the chest wound. She says, question, and do you see this sometimes in chest wounds? See, now they flipped it back. They flipped it back to the chest wound. She says, yes, sir. He know what he was doing. Is that because if somebody was, listen now, once again, used a lot of force to make a stab, then it could push the ribs and the body down. I said, push the body down, which causes the knife to go deeper in the body of a greater length. I said, but the knife was 3.5 inches. The knife wound was only 2 inches, 2.5 inches. I said, the whole entire knife didn't go in the body. Do y'all see what they're doing? They're talking about the chest wound, and then they're kind of disguising the chest wound, the abdominal wound in the chest wound discussions. They're talking about two things, but trying to make it seem like the only thing they're talking about is a chest wound. I hope y'all get it. She says, correct. Another question. I said, what's going on? And this would be an indicator of a greater force. I said, but Karmelo Anthony, according to them, only his blade only went in 2.5 inches. She says, correct. Okay. In this case, the knife in question has been measured 3.5 inches of the blade. And your best approximation is that it only went 2.5 inches depth of the wound. She said, yes, an approximation. So I said, well, why are they talking about force and the wound being deeper than the blade? He says, okay, so this isn't the situation. So then he said, okay, and this isn't the situation we just talked about, where you can see a clear indication of a more force, where the blades go longer than the wound goes longer than what the blade actually was. I said, what is going on, vessels and viewers? Y'all, I said something don't seem right. Now we know what they was talking about. Not the chest wound, the abdominal wound, y'all. That is probably where Karmelo Anthony actually hit him. But see, they don't want to bring that up. Even the medical examiner didn't have it on the 3D diagram because people would question the location of the wound, why it was so low. That would definitely show Karmelo Anthony was sitting down and Austin was standing up. And Karmelo Anthony hit him in a self-defense position. Y'all don't want to hear what I said this morning or last night. Let's keep going though. Let's keep going. And I hope I haven't confused nobody. Just stay with me. Yes, you can see, yes, that can happen. Okay. And you said, I believe you couldn't tell which side of the edges of the wound, which side the blade could cause the injury. Correct. Because they were both described as sharp. Now, I think the prosecution wanted to get it on record that she couldn't tell exactly what the weapon was, because remember, we definitely think it is a second weapon out there. So he wanted to get it on record and cause confusion about this weapon. What side was dull, what side was sharp, because the wound that was in Austin's body, abdominal area is deeper than, is different from the wound in his chest. Hold on. Also, in your report, you said you noted that the wound had no significant lateral or vertical deviation. Do you recall? She says yes. Can you explain to the jury what you meant by that? So as a medical examiner, I give direction of the injury through the body in an atomic position. So in the diagram where I have my notes and the picture of the blank wound in the chest, the diagram was standing in an atomic position. So facing forward, palms forward, feet facing forward. And using the anatomic position, I give direction of the injury through the body. In this case, I documented as front to back only. Sometimes I give the right to the left deviations and upward and downward deviations. And in this case, it was only front to back. You have seen different, all kinds of, see what I'm saying? Look at this. Look at the line of questioning. This is odd. This is odd. Listen, and you have seen all different kinds of knife injuries and autopsies over the years. Why would he ask her this if it's only one injury and one knife, right? Do y'all see what I'm saying now? See the line of questioning, my brain started turning. I said, what, it's only one wound, right? And one weapon, right? So why is he talking about this? You've seen all kind of knife injuries and autopsies over the years. When you said you could see them both. I'm sorry, let me slow down. When you said you could see them being lateral, or you could see how they cut through the body, depending on how the person may be swinging a knife and striking the body. Did he just say swinging the knife? Did he just say swinging the knife? See, I missed this in the beginning. Did he just say swinging the knife? Because remember, it was a second fight under the tent. Did somebody, and we always said, and I know I demonstrated, I think somebody swung, even though they was probably trying to get to Karmelo, they swung and missed and hit Austin in the chest with the left hand. Somebody is left-handed, and a lot of viewers, investors came after that one particular video and said that Hunter Metcalf was left-handed. Hunter, did you accidentally miss Karmelo Anthony? Because you didn't know him. Y'all didn't know him, so y'all didn't know how fast he was. Did you accidentally miss Karmelo Anthony and swing and hit your brother in the chest? Because, y'all picture this. Wherever you sitting down, go ahead. Wherever you sitting down, take your left hand, do this, and swing this way. And see the angle of where your hand is. Pretend like you got a knife, but swing it this way. That is the angle of the mark in Austin Metcalf chest. Somebody left hand, they swung. And why would he say be swinging the knife and striking the body? See, because if it was Karmelo Anthony sitting down, you wouldn't call this swinging. You would call this poking, like the Psycho movie. Put it together, y'all. Put it together. Hindsight is 20. This thing is coming together even deeper. She says, yes, in this case, when you finally find on your findings word from front to back, is that an indicator that the knife was straight in and out? Why she said, it is an indicator that when it entered the body, it only went from front to back. It only went from front to back, not in and out. Okay. All he said was, okay. He didn't say, hey, elaborate more, but he already knows somebody else hit Austin in the chest. But she said, it is an indication that it entered the body, it only went front to back. Front, back. Back. Okay. You have seen also bodies that have come. Do y'all see these questions? He ain't said nothing. How could he? Not one time has he used Karmelo Anthony's name in this. Not one time. He's not even asking her, how could Karmelo create this womb in Austin's body? Do y'all see this? He's talking in hypotheticals. Why is he talking in hypotheticals if he got the M weapon, right? If he got the poker, if Karmelo Anthony is sitting right there in the courtroom on trial, why is he talking in hypotheticals? Okay, you've seen people who have come in that a person passed away from knife wounds, and there could be, look, many knife wounds on the body? Do you see what I'm talking about? Do y'all see this? Do you see this? Do you see this? Why is he talking about many knife wounds on the body? Y'all, even though I read it before, I read it, tried to comprehend it, but now I know why he asked these questions. Many wounds on the body? She says, correct. I have seen where there are penetration wounds that cause, why are they talking about multiple penetration wounds? But also slashings of wounds. Question. Have you seen bodies where there are penetration or multiple penetration wounds that cause death, but also slashing wounds on the arms and the hands and things like that? She says yes. But in this case, it was only one single knife wound that went from front to back. She says correct. Once again, why they're not talking about the abdominal wound? They still haven't mentioned the abdominal wound. Why they ain't mention the abdominal wound? You can tell the jury how much force used to cause. You can't tell the jury how much force was used to cause the knife. Sick? No, I don't know. Does it depends? Also, the sharpness of the blade, it could be a factor. How pointed the blade is? Yes, that could be a factor. Once again, they didn't bring the real weapon to court. They brought a replica. Why is he not pointing to even the replica that they brought in the box? Do y'all see the issues with this? Oh my gosh, the sharper point of the blade, the easier the knife penetrates the body. She says yes. Mr. Shook, okay, may I have the witness? Okay, here we go. Now listen to Mr. Shook. Yes, sir. I know you get asked a lot of these questions by lawyers, but that would it be consistent if the person, the victim, here you go. Now, I didn't know what he was talking about because we read, what's this, volume 6 after volume 8. We hadn't got to 5 yet. Now, so with Mr. Shook, I said, hold on. What Mr. Shook talking about? He gets up. His first question was, I know you get asked questions like this a lot by lawyers, but that, would it be consistent if the person, the victim, which is Austin Metcalf, was standing over the victim? If they were seated, let's say, on bleachers in a stadium. Okay, now mind you, I'm telling you, I'm giving you the cliff notes. Mr. Shook, Toby Shook, is explaining what happened under the tent. So keep this in mind when I'm reading. He explaining what happened under the tent without saying he's explaining the video. Okay, just here you go. Just in a seated position. And if the victim has come over to attempt to remove him from the bleachers, throw him off the bench, whatever, grab a person or push a person or grab that person from the front to the back, shove him back, and that person was holding. Listen now, I said what Mr. Shook is talking about. Shove that person back, and that person was holding a knife between their legs and in the bag with their right hand, and they like shoved back and the knife came out. And if the person was over this person, put the knife up, could it cause that injury? It could cause the angle going back, front to the back. I said, y'all, what is Mr. Shook talking about? What is he describing, y'all? If that person was over him in an angle that way, so it was straight on. Answer, the victim was over the body, or she says, I'm sorry. Why did she stop? Why did she stop? Yeah, the victim was over the body. The defendant was sitting. If they reached in and grabbed him and force pushed him back, pulled him up, could that have caused the knife if the victim was stuck by the knife? If the victim stuck the knife out? She says yes. I said, hold on. Is Mr. Shook telling us exactly what happened under the tent? The answer is yes. Out of the 2 witness testimonies that I read under oath, they describe exactly this. Except for they said they didn't see the knife and they did see Karmelo hit him, but they know Karmelo Anthony did it because Austin failed. Okay. Would that be consistent? She says yes. There are many possibilities. This is the medical example. Yes, there are many possibilities, but the body is in constant motion. Boom, boom, boom. And it's hard for me to say. Y'all, they all saw this video. The body is in constant motion. And it's hard for me to say, but yeah, they are. It can be consistent with that. And my trajectory is given in an anatomic position. So it is not in the position the person was in probably when he sustained the injuries. Okay. It could have been different positions. So there could be multiple positions that a person was in when they received the front to back trajectory through their body. But if the descent was over the defendant, if Austin Metcalf was over Karmelo Anthony and he reached up and poked him from going front to back, that would be consistent. Well, we already know he didn't reach up. We already know Karmelo Anthony didn't reach up. We know Karmelo Anthony didn't reach up. Okay, and as far as how easy the knife penetrated the body depends on how sharp the knife is. She says that correct. She said that can be a factor. How point the blade is, that can be a factor. If the deceased question. If the deceased grabbed the defendant forcefully, shoved him back and jerked up, could that also contribute to how far the knife went in? She says the force of being pulled back up. Could that also be added into the force of the poking motion as well? She says any type of force could contribute to more force than needed to enter the body. Okay. You could obviously or ask if that could happen in many ways, but that scenario we described, that could only be one of the ways that it could happen. For a trajectory to enter the body, he says, yes, ma'am. Yes. You couldn't rule out that, but you couldn't say that couldn't happen that way. If I could not say it because I was not there, I could not say it because I wasn't there. I didn't witness it. So there are many possibilities, but that could be one. One more question. You have ruled in your opinion. Listen. This is why the medical examiner said that Austin's unaliving was a homicide. Is that a common phrase for you to use? It isn't unique to this case. Could you explain to the jury why the medical examiner used the word homicide? This is what she's about to say, y'all. Now, mind you, she said she didn't see what happened, but listen to what she's about to say. Yes, so there are there are 5 types of manners of unaliving. There is natural, due to internal disease. There is accidental, which the injury led to the death, and intentional injury. S-word, which means the person who died did it, and a self-inflicted injury to themselves. Homicide, which is the death resulting from an intentional action of another person, and undetermined, where the insufficient evidence to put a category association with the death. There is not enough evidence to say natural or accidental or blank or blank. Those are the 5 types of unaliving. So in this case, this is classified as a homicide in medical terms because the death was the result of an intentional actions of another person. Now, she said she just didn't witness it. That's all the questions I have. Why she didn't bring up the abdominal wound? Why she didn't bring up the abdominal wound? Do y'all see the cover up? Do y'all see that line of questioning? If y'all are not curious about the line of questioning, hey, you just got a little bit of how my brain works. But y'all see this right here. Hold on. Now watch Mr. Wilkie. Now, Mr. Shook. See, this is my second time reading this. So all of the reactions that we had in the first time I read this is out the window because I already read this before. But I want y'all to see how the prosecution responded to what she said and how Mr. Shook asked those questions because he about to go crazy. Watch this right here. Court passed the witness. Mr. Shook passed the witness. The court, Mr. Wilkie, redirect examination by Mr. Wilkie. Doctor. Ooh, he was hot right here. Doctor, you hinted at, but I'm not sure the jury either heard you or understood the full import of what I think you were trying to say. Then he says, there's a lot of danger in doing reenactments like we just saw counsel do in the courtroom. Y'all, he basically just said that what Mr. Shook described and talked about with the medical examiner was the actual reenactment of what happened under the tent. And he even called it a lot of danger. He know that Mr. Shook actually probably didn't know that he went overboard in describing what happened under the tent without mentioning it, but he definitely described what happened under the tent. She says, correct. then Mr. Wilkie said, in this particular case, almost anything would be consistent, right? She says, there are multiple scenarios that could be consistent with the trajectory, right? So even somebody hitting him from the left into his chest. And when we talk about multiple, could it be in hundreds of thousands, because you have the weapon, you have two people involved in multiple planes in multiple times. So it could be very easy to construct a scenario that would be fitting, that would fit your findings, but it would be very foolish heartily for the jury to extrapolate that any particular scenario is what happened that day. Would you agree? She says yes. Let's pause. Something just came to my mind. Why didn't the prosecution line up her testimony with what happened to 10? Remind you, even though it's distorted, the prosecution supposed to line up the medical examination, right, to what happened to the video. He hasn't referred to the video not one time. Why the medical examiner, why the prosecution didn't ask questions aligned to what happened in that distorted video? Did y'all see him refer to the video? Why so many hypotheticals when you got the video? And Karmelo Anthony there. Yes, okay. Listen, here it go. So I believe I don't want the jury to walk away to think that somehow Austin Metcalf impaled himself on Karmelo Anthony knife. That's what the prosecution said. So before I highlighted this sentence here, did y'all hear Mr. Shook say anything about Austin Metcalf impaling himself on Karmelo Anthony knife? The answer is no. Mr. Shook said objection. The court said stop everybody. Let him finish his question and then I'll entertain your objection. Don't answer until I rule on objection. Go ahead. Question again. It would be fair in your professional estimation for any jury to walk away thinking the scenario counsel just described. Counsel, Mr. Wilkie just described, where Austin Metcalf virtually impaled himself on Karmelo Anthony knife. All you can say is it is constant. You can't say whether it is probable or not. It's just possible. Possible, correct? Correct? That's a question from the prosecution. But it is just possible. It is just possible. Correct? I thought we was talking about Karmelo Anthony and the facts with what happened under the tent. Not any possibilities, not any all of these other possible ways. We supposed to have been talking about what happened with Karmelo Anthony, not possible hypotheticals and theories, right? Court, do you have an objection, Mr. Shook? Mr. Shook says, no, Judge. You may answer correct. She says correct. So it is very dangerous to make those assumptions in the courtroom. She answers correct. Do you watch TV at all? She says yes. In TV, they do all of that, don't they? Yes. Also in the courtroom, you're supposed to reenact what happened under the tent, which is exactly what Mr. Shook did. He discussed what happened under the tent. And then the question is, it is very frustrating for those in business that actually limits, now he's casting doubt, actual limits of any particular forensics discipline that are not accurately portrayed on TV. Would you agree? She says yes. Here we go. Here we go. So the impaling scenario is just one of hundreds of thousands. Once again, if you didn't understand all the other stuff I said, why are they talking about impaling theories? Why is the prosecution not utilizing the medical examiner in a way to show that Karmelo Anthony hit Austin at that particular angle, which is her job? The medical examiner is supposed to discuss in court how injuries, did she say at the beginning, on how injuries enter the body? So why not one time did the prosecution ask her How did Karmelo Anthony sitting down at 130, 160 pounds made that angle in Austin Metcalf chest? Now that was plain and simple. Even if you didn't understand what I said earlier, why the prosecution is not having the medical examiner explain how Karmelo Anthony made the wound in Austin's chest. We have an issue, Houston. She says, correct. That would be a full force knife. A full force knife wound, correct? So hold on. I even start right here. Well, if Karmelo Anthony was sitting down, how could he deliver a full force knife injury sitting down when he didn't even have the momentum of his thigh muscles? And anybody know, if you know anything about anatomy or biology, your power comes from your thighs and your legs. So how could Karmelo Anthony cause a full force knife wound? But also talking about, but she just said, hold on, this just coming to me. Look what her answer is. She says correct. She said, hold on. Question. That could be caused by a full force knife wound, right? What were they just talking about? An impalement, right? Impalement, right? Now, one time had they mentioned Karmelo Anthony actions in this knife scenario, right? Have they? They've been talking about impalement, full force. So read this with me again. Forget about Karmelo Anthony, forget about Austin. Just read these 4 sentences with me, right? Push Karmelo away, Austin away. Listen to the question. So the impalement scenario is just one of hundreds of thousands, correct? She says correct. So that could be a full force knife wound, correct? On Austin's body. Guess what she says? Correct. So let's talk about that. Counsel talked about force. The analysis that you just hinted at is very rough or gross, to use your language. Sometimes the wound is deeper than the blade. The chest wound was not deeper than the blade. It was not. The blade was 3.5 inches. The wound was only 2.5 inches. She just testified. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about, prosecutor? Now we know what they're talking about, the abdominal wound. The wound is deeper than the blade. Right there. The jury wasn't listening? Yo, you mean to tell me nobody was listening to this in the courtroom? But I would have said, but you just said that the chest wound was only 2.5 inches. The blade was 3 inches. So why are we talking about the wound is deeper than the blade? Generally speaking, you could extrapolate more useful force. More force was used. Correct. She says correct. But then he tries to clean it up. But there could be multiple other reasons for that scenario. She says correct. Let's take the converse of the scenario which we have here. The depth of the wound is shorter than the length of the blade. So now, do y'all see how he had to bring it back in? He had to bring it back in because I'm pretty sure a lot of people started talking about. He probably could see people's face like, why are you talking about a wound was deeper than the blade? So he had to bring it back in. He trying to clean this up. Now let's take the converse of that scenario which we have here. The blade of the wound is shorter than the length of the blade. I said, hold on. I said, they talking about 2 wounds, 2 knives. This could be due to less than force. It could be interposed target like the college of the sternum, correct? She says correct. So this would be foolhardy for this jury to walk away from your testimony to think your testimony made any scenario more or less likely when everything virtually is possible, correct? Once again, if you're not catching what I'm saying, why are they still talking about hypotheticals instead of what Karmelo Anthony allegedly did to Austin Metcalf? Why? Correct. The only way you should know what scenario is feasible if you had solid, reliable, anecdotal correct. I even have an issue with this. The only way you could know what scenario is feasible if you had solid, reliable, anecdotal evidence correct. Well, where's the crystal clear video? Where is the crystal clear videos? Because at that stadium, they had multiple camera angles. One from the top looking down to the visitor stadium, one from the left, one from the right, and from across the field, the one that we got that was distorted. Where are the crystal clear videos, unedited videos? That was your solid, reliable, anecdotal evidence. They actually took out the piece of evidence that would have said, yeah, Karmelo Anthony did what they did, but they are talking like they don't have a video. Y'all, why are they talking like, why is the prosecution, the state, talking like they don't have a video to go by? She says, correct, like multiple eyewitnesses that came in and told the same story. All of them said they didn't see Karmelo Anthony. The two witnesses that we read, they didn't say they saw Karmelo Anthony with anything. Nothing. She says, yes. You mentioned you have done many knife cases, and I know because you work in Dallas, correct? There would be, okay, there was this multiple wound scenario. Oh gosh. Like maybe there was only one knife wound. As that not as bad as multiple knife wounds. Do you remember the line of question? Yes, it only takes one, doesn't it? She says, yes. It's just simple isn't survivable. Hold on. And one like this isn't survivable, is it? She says, correct. Now, Les, one thing counsel didn't touch on, I think I forgot about it when I talked to you the first time. All of these knife cases you have done in your career, can you explain to the members of the jury what a defensive wound is? Defensive wounds are typically on the hands of the forearms, and most of them are incisions, which mean they are longer on the surface of the skin, but don't penetrate as deeply. But typically, they are on the person who is defending himself because their hands are up, and the person who is attacking them is making incisions on their hands or forearms as they are trying to protect themselves. That's because the natural human reaction, if you see the knife coming, is to put your hands up, right? She says, correct. Did you find any defensive knife wounds on Austin Metcalf? She says, no. It could be he didn't see it coming, right? She says, yes. Mr. Wilkie said, I passed to the witness. You know why he didn't see it? Because Mr. Wilkie already told us what happened. If Karmelo Anthony had it down between his legs and Austin Metcalf has already railed Karmelo Anthony back, got him leaned back like this, and you leaning on top of him, you impaled yourself. That's what it's called, impalement. You didn't see it. Austin Metcalf didn't see whatever Karmelo Anthony had in his lap. So Austin did it to himself. He did it to himself. Now look at this, Mr. Shook, read cross-examination. I told you it got hot. Mr. Wook said, hey, you got these questions every trial by prosecution and defense about it. Could it be consistent with, or it could be consistent with that? Do you not? She says, yes. Okay. Prosecution asks you these questions? Yes. And defense attorneys ask you these questions? Yes. And your answer is the same. That could be one scenario. It could be many. She says, yes. All right. Listen to him. Okay. I never asked you if Austin Metcalf impaled himself with the knife, did I? She says, no. Mr. Shook ends his line of questioning here. So I'm going to raise the question again. It was the prosecution that brought up the impalement theory. And why did Mr. Shook, out of all the other hypothetical scenarios that they talked about, why did Mr. Shook have to get up and make it concrete known that he didn't bring up the impalement knife or the impalement theory himself? Because you know what happened after this case right here? I'm pretty sure that on that Saturday after court let out, it was probably some furniture moving. It probably was some swinging. It probably was some cussing out. It was probably somebody who was finna jump on somebody. All Mr. Shook did, the reason why he got up and asked the medical examiner to say, no, he didn't bring it up, because I'm pretty sure Mr. Wiki was going to confront Mr. Shook on why he brought up the impalement theory. And Mr. Shook, all he had to say was, no, prosecutor, you brought up exactly what happened in court. Because why, out of all the other hypothetical things, Mr. Shook said, I never asked you if Austin Metcalf impaled himself with a knife, did I? What? She says, no. And that was it for that. They got her off the stand. Now let me bring up the stomach wound last time. And then I'm going to go to the comments. I'm going to let y'all go. Oh, it's only been 1 hour and 25 minutes. I'm definitely going to bring up the stomach wound for everybody that want to know what I'm talking about. When we talking about the stomach wound, I'm going to read the comments. Then I'm going to let y'all go. For everybody that want to know, well, what about the second wound? What about the second wound? Oh, now after reading the 2 redacted witnesses, it was described. I'll show you 2. Matter of fact, let me bring that up now. That was in volume 5. Hold on. That when Austin Metcalf, he got hit, right? He got hit. And guess what he did? Austin Metcalf didn't pass away at the stadium. When Austin, did you see his body move backwards towards Austin? Hold on. Here you go. Hold on. Honestly, it happened so quick. I didn't really know what happened. I saw Karmelo run up the bleachers, and then look, even this witness said, I really don't know what happened. He said, I saw Karmelo run up the bleachers, and then I just heard a lot of screaming, but I didn't know what happened, like scared of, until I saw Austin at the bottom of the bleachers. And a question, what did you see when you looked down and saw Austin at the bleachers? Now, look. Austin was able, he said, I saw him, Austin, lift up his shirt, and then I saw the incision of the poking. Was it a pretty big wound? He said, yes, sir. At this time, I said, well, the chest wound. Now, mind you, at this time, I didn't know nothing about the abdominal wound. I said, they talking about that 2-inch chest wound? He said, it was a pretty big he said it was a pretty big wound. I said, a little chest wound? He said, yes, sir. Now, look. Then look, Austin's still alive. Guess what Austin did? What did Austin say? He said, I screamed. I've been S-word, and then Blank was trying to help him. Did Blank get involved? Hold on. Hey, no. Hold on. Let's see here. Where is it? He lifted up his shirt. Is that for this witness here? Is this only for this witness? If it's not in here, he basically said when Austin came down on his back, he went down the bleachers on his back. He said when Austin got up, well, Austin then failed. Run, everybody took off. Okay, it's not in this one. It must be in 4. But he said when Austin got hit with the poker and slid down the bleachers on his back, he said he got up and lifted his shirt and said, oh my gosh, that must have been from the first witness. So I'm going to beg you, if Karmelo Anthony hit him in the chest, which the medical examiner said pierced his sternum and his heart, how could Austin Metcalf stand up, be talking to people, lifting up his shirt, walking down the fence before he collapsed in shock? Now, let's go back to here, though. We're going to stick right here. Wound, right? Now, when I saw this, I said, hold on, what big wound? I said the wound on the chest was a very, it was obligated, right? It was like in an oval shape, right? Y'all seen it, right? So here we go. So mind you, we're reading backwards. So when I come to 4, and thank you to Bay Power the other night, this is the coach talking about the wound. Listen, this is the coach. Yeah, this is the coach. Let me make sure. Hold on. Okay, here, look. It was a pretty good sized wound in the abdominal. Let's go back to 5. It was a pretty big wound. Let's go back to 4. It was a pretty good sized wound in his abdominal. It was a pretty big wound. It was a pretty good sized wound in his abdominal. This particular coach right here, unless I missed it, he only talked about, look, I immediately put pressure on the wound. Is he saying wounds? Do you see anytime he's talking about two wounds, he's talking about one wound, one wound. It was a pretty good size wound in his abdominal. Do you see where the coach is talking about multiple wounds? Matter of fact, this coach right here said, and I was trying to pull his brother off so I could actually, get him down. He's talking about Austin. So at this point, Austin was still standing up. How can Austin, and like I'm not a medical person, but how can somebody's heart get pierced and they doing all this and somebody has to make them lay down, get him down and lay him flat so I could put pressure on the wound? A pretty good size wound in the abdominal. I must have missed it, y'all. I must have missed it. Look, just by the wound, not wounds. And this is the first adult that get the Austin Metcalf. Why is he talking about wound in singular, not plural? Do y'all see what I'm saying? Do y'all see what I'm saying? They in fact get pressure on the wound. Just by the wound. Yes, sir. Based off the location. He didn't say locations of the wounds, by the location of the wound. Just by the womb, the womb, the womb. Now, if hypothetically, let's just say this coach did attend to Austin Metcalf and he had two wounds. Let's just say that. But in Jane Douglas, the court transcripts reporter, a court reporter, let's just say she made a mistake. Let's just say, because this is a partial transcript, let's just say in her rush to get these transcripts out, oh Jane, what if Jane deleted the wrong womb answers? What, Tony, what you say again? I said, what if this coach did tend to Austin and talked about multiple wounds, but we only seeing one? And I'm going to say, what if Jane, in a rush to get these transcripts out, what if she deleted the entries for the chest wound instead of the abdominal wound? Because all this coach talked about was the abdominal wound. And I rest my case. I'm going to continue to go over volume 4 until I'm blue in the face, because no one, not even a medical examiner, talked about the abdominal wound. Hold on. You don't believe me? Hold on. Let me bring up the prosecution now. This is the prosecution evidence that Bill Whiskey, oh, I'm finna eat him up, that Bill Whiskey brought to court. Hold on, let me find the picture. Then I'm gonna let y'all go. Hold on, let me find these pictures. Oh, let me stop sharing. Let me start sharing. Y'all seeing all my stuff. Hold on. Let me play this video for y'all real quick. Hold on. But Karmelo Anthony legal team is arguing that the entire process for his murder trial violated his constitutional rights and is asking for a brand new trial. Now, I'm going back to what I said at the beginning. If the judge, we haven't heard what judge is going to be appointed over the motion for a new trial. As of now, it's not going to be Judge Sid Harle. Whoever that judge is, I would call Mike Howard to the stands, put him on the oath, and ask him exactly what happened. Do you stand on every word in your affidavit that was signed on the 5th of July? We're talking about 21 days ago. Mike Howard is going to say with his chest, I do. Oh, my. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be for any judge. I don't care whoever it is. It's going to be hard for them not to take that in consideration, that Mike Howard, the own defense attorney, lead defense attorney for Karmelo Anthony, going up on a stage on the oath, and I said, I stand by every word that I put in my affidavit almost 2 months ago. No judge, hey, by default, new trial. And then also I want to hear about the conditions. I want to hear about the conditions about Karmelo Anthony being released, because at this point, Karmelo Anthony should not even be behind jail because of the railroad and the collusion and the sabotaging that they did. They should release him, right? I would say on his own reconnaissance, or go ahead and put that leg monitor on him. But it should be something where Karmelo Anthony should not be behind those bars, because he didn't even have a defense. Karmelo Anthony basically went into the courtroom with all a prosecution team, no, what they call it, ineffective assistant counsel. Woo! See, I still got it. Ineffective assistant counsel. Karmelo Anthony basically went in there with no assistant, no legal assistance. It got so deep that they even have what they call it, a script for his mother. What his mother could say, even in sentencing, what his mother could say and what his mother could not. Oh, it got that deep. And you mean to tell me you did this all for a young man that was guilty? Let me drink. Hold on, y'all. I found it. Here we go. Now, I'm going to share this with you first. Then I'm going to let you go. Let's see where it is. Let me drop this right here. Now, this is what the prosecution admitted. You see the state's exhibit down here? Hold on. Let me go ahead and drop this real quick. Hold on. Let me drop these comments real quick. I'm going to get to y'all quick. Do y'all see state's exhibit, right? Now, based off this alone, now this is what we don't have from Ocean Springs Chief Medical Examiner. What's her name? Sarah Turner. But we definitely got this for Dr. Elizabeth Ventura. Oh, yeah, I'm putting her name in the algorithm, because this right here, she should lose her license. This is the actual 2D diagram that she went to court with, and the prosecution and the defense allowed in as Exhibit 90. Well, now what I'm knowing, now what I know, I have an issue with this document as a layman. Yeah, as a layman. Now, this number does matches what she talked about in court. Almost. I just saw an error with that. Oh, I think she was trying to be slick, y'all. Hold on. I think she tried to be slick. But my first issue, when I first looked at this document, not knowing about the second room, I had an issue with, why is no name on this document? Why is no name? One. Why is no date on this diagram? Now, mind you, now look. It is state exhibit 90. Excuse my French. This shit could have, this could have been anybody. This could have been anybody, y'all. Listen, this shit could have been anybody. And it's just hitting me. This could have been anybody's diagram. First of all, this has no name. This has no age of the person that she's talking about. It don't even have a date on when it was drafted. If you know anything about documentation, especially in a criminal case or any type of case, documentation is one of the most important things in any case. So why is there now no name? Why is no number? Why is no date? The only way we could possibly tell that it was a male that this came from is because of the genital area. And then y'all see this wound? Y'all see this wound? Okay. Now, okay, y'all see the wound. But, so I have an issue with this, but just off this alone, she should lose her license, right? So let's just say in the state of Texas, let's just say by the medical board, right? You don't have to put nobody's name on it. You don't have to put their age or the date. Let's just say you're supposed to have the case number, but I still got an issue with the case number. And I'm going to show you something else because they are very sloppy in Collins County Medical Examiner, because somebody could have just wrote this up. Do y'all see why I got an issue with this? Anybody could have wrote this up because the number is wrong. I just realized that the case number is wrong. There is no name on the documentation. Don't even got an age or even the date that it was drafted. But she should lose her license off of this because where is the abdominal womb? Where is the abdominal womb? Where's the abdominal womb that you just saw in volume 4? It says nothing about abdominal womb. Nothing, y'all. This is why I'm saying first they railroad Karmelo, and now I'm gonna stick by my word. They are framing him. They are framing Karmelo Anthony for a wound that there is no way that he could have committed. I'm trying to turn my chest. I hope I got the chest right. But still, why is no abdominal wound that the coach, the first adult that attended to Austin Metcalf, spoke about graphically? Why is there no abdominal wound? Now, reason why I got an issue with this case number, remember how she talked about that each autopsy, each body has a unique identifiable number. The wrong thing. Now, this is why I know now why Judge Roach, he had sealed these transcripts in his office. You see how I was able just to read through, and I ain't even read through 700 pages. We probably ran through 100 pages in the last week, but do you see how I'm piecing this stuff together and it's not even hard? Do you think Judge Roach and the prosecution wanted them to have the public get to these transcripts and start reading? Why are they talking about an impalement theory? Why are they talking about all these other possibilities? Why is it another wound that they didn't even mention in court? Now, why I got an issue with this case number? Okay, no name, no age, no date. Well, at least the number should be exact, right? The number at least should be exact, right? Exact, right? Now, going to this case number, let's think about this as a telephone number or a social security number. But let's just say a social security number. Even zeros matter, right? Even zeros matter. So if I didn't know what I'm about to show you, I would read that Austin Metcalf case number was 251590, right? Okay. Based off this, 251590. Let's go back up here to what she got. Disclaimer, medical reason, educational purposes only. Now, they want us to believe that this is what unalived Austin Metcalf. Just this right here. They want us to believe that. Well, let's cover, don't even look at the actual picture, right? But let's look at the number. Look at the number. 251590. Do you see what I'm saying? 251590. Why is the case number totally different? Same number, but think about this as a telephone number or an area code. I'm pretty sure in the United States, there's an area code 5251 versus 250. Those are two different separate case numbers. So you mean to tell me the medical examiner, the chief medical examiner in Collin County, she was too busy or she didn't pay attention to the details where she got the case number wrong? She left Austin Metcalf name off of this. she even left his age off this, and even the date of the document that she prepared. Do y'all see why I have an issue with this document? And then she left the womb, the abdominal womb, off of the diagram. Am I crazy? Am I crazy? I know I'm not reaching, because if I was the prosecutor, and please, Mr. Wilson or somebody that know Mr. Wilson or somebody from the team, I hope you accidentally came across this video. Because this, if I was part of the legal team, or maybe Cassandra is in here, maybe your favorite paralegal is in here, get this information to Karmelo Anthony team. See, because this right here alone should be thrown out, because it has so many discrepancies. It don't even have Austin Metcalf's name on it, nor his age or the date. And look, it don't even have the right case number. 25-0 is different from 25-15-90. In any other court of law, even in the regular world, even in, okay, hold on. I got this. Hold on. Let's think of money. 25,000. Let's see. Okay, hold on. This is different. Okay, hold on. Let's think of money. If you want to read this as money, this is 250,590. Now, let's look at this as money. This would be, let me turn this right. If we was thinking of money, and I want to tell you how important this is regarding the zero. If you want to look in terms of money, look at this now. This would be what? $2,501,590. So people can't even come in here. The trolls can't tell me that the zero doesn't make a difference. The zero makes a difference if you're looking at this in terms of number, if you're looking at this in terms of a partial social security number, especially if you're looking at this differently in a murder case or a case that the state gave you. Y'all, I know I went too deep. But I got an issue with this document. I'm done. Tony is done. I'm done tonight. But look, I got an issue with no name. I have, look. She didn't even sign this. She didn't even put her signature on this. We don't know who drafted this. They done messed up the case number. They ain't put no name on it. They ain't put no age on it. They didn't even put a date. This is sloppy. They didn't even mark the injury of the abdominal, and they definitely didn't even sign it. But she testified that it was hers. I'm done. Let me, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. If I was the defense in this case, this right here, I would get this thrown out. Without this, she didn't bring the autopsy report to court. She didn't bring the toxicology report. So really, what are we talking about? Once you get this document thrown out here, do we have anything that says that Austin Metcalf had anything wrong with his body? Ooh, think about it. She didn't even mark the abdominal wound. So once you get this thrown out of court, you don't even have a 2D diagram. And she didn't even submit the autopsy report. She didn't even submit the toxicology report. So what we talking about? Did Karmelo Anthony unalive a ghost? Because without this here, you don't have nothing from the medical examiner office except for her testimony, and it's full of hypotheticals. For real, look at this. If I was the defense attorney, that team, I would throw this document out. Without this document, you have no proof of any dead body for Austin Metcalf. You didn't submit the toxicology report. You didn't submit the official autopsy report. And once I get thrown out, what can you pin on my client, Karmelo Anthony? Do y'all see what I'm talking about? I'm finna go. I'm gonna go to the comments. Don't me, the Emmy brought somebody else. Come on. Don't mean the Emmy brought somebody else toxic recording report with the diagram drawing someone else's chest. Listen, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. You didn't even put a name on here, and the case number is totally different. That 0 plays a part in the case number. It gotta be exact. Who? Show me somebody else chest wound saying it's Austin. Yes, his name. Or come on, y'all got me. Y'all definitely got me. Y'all got. Thank you, Lord. I got the right audience. Come on, all part of a cover up. They did a lot of unethical things in this trial. Facts. I believe that. Let's go. Hey, how you doing, Black? Thank you. She did not even sign it because her hand. Thank you. So this right here should not even be admissible. Do y'all see? Do y'all see? The evidence is not even tied to Austin because she don't even got the right case number up here. Do y'all see that 0 supposed to be here? And I think she did it on purpose. I don't know why she did it, but this don't even tie to Austin. Y'all, what if she said, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that's somebody else's autopsy too. Well, if that's the case, where's Austin's Metcalf 2D diagram? She testified that this was the one for Austin. Y'all, throw this out. Throw this out. Throw this out. Brownie, you're correct. I mean, millions come with a lot of people. Thank you. Gotcha. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so y'all understand exactly what I said about the numbers, why that 0 is important. Come on with it. Come on with it. Put me on the dream G. Listen, man. I thought I had lost y'all. I see. Okay, good. I pray that they don't break. I pray they don't break Karmelo because he's about to own Collins County. Come on with it. They said this is for educational purposes only. That was a kicker. Right. Come on with it. No, so when I first saw it, right, this is when they released everything along with the videos and stuff. So we went through it. I was mostly focused on like what was in Karmelo's Anthony. Even this picture here, y'all. Even this picture here. I want his new legal team to get the undoctored arrest record because we know this been doctored. Even AI said this was doctored. AI said this was doctored. Oh, in that arrest record, we saw all of this swollen. Oh, we saw something about his round his mouth. Even right here, you can see where this side of his mouth is a little swollen. But y'all, even AI said this was doctored. AI said this was doctored. But I was mostly I said, this is it, y'all. I was expecting when I first download these pictures around the time of when the video came down, all the video footage and body cam came down. Y'all, I said, this is it. I said, this is it. No, what actually unalived him was the internal bleeding from the abdominal wound that really doesn't exist because it's not on the autopsy report or the 2D diagram. Man, if I was the defense attorney, I would eat this up. Y'all, I think Elizabeth Ventura is trying to leave Collins County. She's packing up right now. I bet that lady is packing up right now. Okay. And I still say, even with that abdominal wound, right? When he hit him or accidentally hit him, even for a split second, he should have had some type of DNA on his pants from Austin. Look, y'all, look, y'all, they don't even show his pants. Where is his pants, y'all? Where are these blue pants that Karmelo Anthony had on? They're not in the state's photos. This is all Karmelo Anthony had in his book bag, and he supposed to did a premeditated murder. Look at that. Look, word cross puzzles, y'all. He took this to unalive somebody on purpose. Really? Now this right here, I thought this was Austin's jacket, but the coach said this was a coat that he had grabbed to put compression on the wound. So I ask you again, if all of this was coming out of Austin, you mean to tell me Karmelo Anthony escaped with nothing on his clothes? Nothing. Okay. Well, this right here is, I don't even know what this is. This must have been part of the jacket. Okay, this is the inside, this is the outside of the jacket. Yeah, this is the outside. This is a 2G that the coach said he had. Let's see here. But see, when we was going through these documents, you know, I'm just looking for the stuff. I'm looking for the stuff. Then I said, hold on, you mean to tell me where all these students over here? I'm thinking the tent was over here by itself. I said, none of these kids over here saw nothing? Nobody? Nah, I said, something wrong. I said, something's wrong. I said, something's wrong. Let me show you this right here. This is where I think, is this the picture? You can't tell me this light pole here didn't have no cameras facing the fields of the stands. It was another, where's the other picture? Where's another picture? See, they was trying to be slick. You can't tell me there's no camera on this light pole facing down towards the stands of the football field. You can't tell me that. You can't believe me. Collins County, Frisco County is one of the richest counties in Texas. You can't tell me this. You can't tell me this. You can't make me believe this. Not this stadium. And then one of the they'll cut him out. They'll cut him out. I know why they'll cut him out. Do y'all remember when we was looking at the footage and it was a group of them? Well, I think the boy right here, he was the one read his testimony the first night because he said he was walking in with Hunter and Austin at the same time. Okay, look at this. So it happened over here. You can't tell me there's not one camera over here somewhere. You can't tell me that. Multiple cameras. I'm sorry. Let me go to the comments. Barbara, yes, she's right. This is a big tampering with evidence on top of everything else. Listen, Barbara, this thing just came to my mind. Thank you. I said, hold on, something's wrong. I said, no. This thing is, the abdominal not mark on there is something significant. Yes. I said, this can't be. Now, before, when I was first looking at this, like I said, we didn't have the transcripts. I didn't know nothing about abdominal move. Remember, in the beginning, right after the case, it was rumored that it was another wound on the body, but we was like, well, maybe that was just a lie or that was somebody just lying, but we know that it's true. We saw it in writing. If it's a lie, Jane Duggar put it in there. She the one put it in there if it's a lie. Now, if they didn't even bring the toxicology to court, what did he have in the system? What did he have in his system? So I can understand now you're not bringing the autopsy report to court because it's going to show 2 wounds, but you didn't even bring the toxicology report. Issues. User they did because the coach said he put pressure on the abdominal wound. Not only if he had to stop the pressure on the wounds, he would have said it. And the examiner would have said, come on with it. Come on. And the examiner said it was the chest. Did you see the whole entire, unless they redacted the medical examiners about the abdominal wound? But why take that out of there? Why nobody's talking about the abdominal wound except for the coach? And like I said, I think Jane Duggar took the wrong wound out trying to rush the transcripts. She supposed to have took out the abdominal wound context, not the chest wound. Well, she done opened this thing up. And Mike Howard too. Mike Howard. Tony, how did you know about a second wound? You want to know how I knew about a second wound? Mike Howard put it in his closing arguments, which was the first things that we read. I said, Mike, I said 2 wounds. I said, well, Mike Howard said it was 2 wounds. Mike Howard, he dropped the nugget in closing arguments. Please, somebody make sure. Yes, please make sure they get this information here. And they specifically talked about the abdominal wound at the hearing. Yep. And Coach Redmond talked about the wound on the 4th, and she followed up on the 6th. But they all can't be in the room at the same time, so she don't know that he talked about the abdominal wound because all the witnesses can't be in the room. From what I know, I could be wrong, but I think they're supposed to get called in separately and come in the room and you get escorted out the room so you don't hear the other testimonies. But y'all, she don't know Coach Redmond had talked about abdominal wound, because I'm pretty sure she would have been like, I gotta update this, y'all. Thank you. What the case number on the diagram? Thank you. The abdominal wound would be the wound. Mello was the right. But they didn't show that one. They showed this wound that no way he could have made. So who else? Now, since now we on the same page, I asked the question again. Who made this wound that they're trying to frame Karmelo Anthony for? Who made this wound? since they all testified to this wound. They excluded this one, but they all testified to this one. So who made this wound? They're trying to pin Karmelo Anthony with. There we go. Come on. Where's the ME? I want to know too. I want to know too. Calling them witness to explain their treatment based on their assessment. That's right. The autopsy diagram could be the Betty Boop. Betty Boop. Betty Boop. Look like they whited it out. So I even bet the question, why would they even white out an abdominal wound? When she said, oh, I'm supposed to document everything when the body come in, why would she leave out the wound? Oh man, either way, this looks bad for her. This looks bad for her. She didn't document it right. She got the case number wrong, left all the information right, pertinent information. And she didn't even document the body. This could get thrown out, y'all. This should be inadmissible in a court of law. You even got the case number wrong. See, because the 0 could have been at the end of the front. This is a totally different case number, man. Sesame Street, y'all. Sesame Street taught me this when I was 5 and 6. Sesame Street, PBS in Georgia. Sesame Street told us how important zeros were. Man, come on with it. I strongly believe they're lying about the whole chest. User. They did Melo so wrong. Abdominal wound left off purposely. Come on, really. Also, Karmelo phone was inside the backpack. These Collins kid, Hicks hid and lied so hard. Right. Why are they lying about? They even lying about the wound on the body. Free Karmelo tomorrow. Come on, Shirley. The abdominal wound not even documented. And y'all saw that the coach testified to the wound. Where is that? And he only talked about one wound. So you mean to tell me Austin Metcalf does this? Oh my God, I've been stabbed. And he got his shirt lifted up. And you mean to tell me that the coach didn't see one red hint in his chest between his nipples, but he saw the one in his abdominal? How is that even possible? Unless I missed it. Unless Jane Duggar accidentally omitted the wrong wound and left the abdominal wound instead of deleting the abdominal wound and leaving the chest wound. This is odd, y'all. This is odd. Jane Duggar messed up. Jane Duggar messed up the documentation. She left the abdominal wound in the transcript. Or the coach didn't see one. Or the coach didn't see a chest wound. That's why I said this morning, my theory was when they got the body, oh man, they got the body. Okay. I'm looking, I'm doing my annotations. What you say? She gets that phone call. See what you say? Oh, I bet somebody said, oh no, Tony, don't you even allege she would do something like that. Well, she did it. Do you see the abdominal wound? Oh, she probably got that phone call. I need you to make this look like the killer that he is. That abdominal wound, it's going to look like self-defense. I need you to do some things, erase some things, make some things. Yo, what if somebody came in and did something to the body after he transpired? What if they did something in the, because guess what? I think if it happened, hypotheticals, since they dealt with hypotheticals, I should be able to deal with hypotheticals. And I'm going to say alleged. So I'm dealing with a hypothetical. What if they couldn't bring that abdominal wound in there? Because everybody would see, well, why is it hit low in the abdominal like Karmelo Anthony was sitting down and Austin was standing over him like the bully he was, just like all the other witnesses testified to. They said, we got to make this look right. Follow me. You want me to do what? Well, sure. I guess I could do that. But you sure it's not going to get out? Oh, who's the judge? Oh, Pat Fallon too? Oh, well, I guess I could. Because, yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of autopsy dealing with knife wounds. Did she testify that? Oh, yeah, I've seen a lot of bodies with different knife wounds. She said that. I didn't say that. Now, she said that. Well, I tell you what. I can do it, or I can let somebody else come in here and do it. Because I definitely don't want to disrespect the body. So I tell you what, I would feel much better because as a medical examiner, I feel uneasy doing that. Can somebody with the initials of JM come in and just hit the body real quick? Well, Tony, well, why do you say somebody with the initials of JM? Well, the blade didn't even go in the full length of the blade. You know how they say they could tell if somebody was unalive by a family member or somebody they cared about? They say they can tell how the body was discarded. They say if they found a body that's wrapped and covered in plastic and blankets, like they being tucked away and cared by the environment, they can say, oh no, somebody that loved this person did this. Or they can find a body that's out there in the wilderness, just, okay, this was somebody that did this to this person. Y'all, if you watch the forensics files, they tell a lot. Forget what the prosecution say. There, besides Matlock, CSI, or whatever, there is some true crime forensics channels out there. And they let you into all of this stuff. Matter of fact, I said before, I took classes of this in college. Now, I ain't saying I ain't no expert, but this right here, this don't make no sense. And once again, if Karmelo Anthony really wanted to hit him, why he didn't plunge in the full entire length of the blade? Since they want to talk about the blades. Matter of fact, the prosecution said, explain to us how Karmelo Anthony hit Austin with the blade, but it didn't go fully in. He didn't even entertain those type of questions because he knew that Austin Metcalf impaled himself on the blade. This is how we know. Man, come on with it. Yes, Tony. Corruption in real time. Karmelo could have done better representing himself. A 3-inch blade camping knife has a dull edge. Matter of fact, that's probably why they was asking, could one side be sharp and the other side be dull? Puncturous the abdominal, it would have become a slit. But the presented evidence was a 5-inch knife and a camping knife inside of a backpack. That's right. Hopefully the new judge is fair and applies laws, no lies, no corruption. New judge is Michael Chitty. Yes, that is correct. You know, it doesn't apply to black folks, right? Tony, you are supposed to apply pressure on the chest if poked in the heart. Yeah, and that's fine. No, that's totally fine. But the coach, he was talking about applying pressure to an abdominal wound that is missing from the 2D diagram. That's what we was talking about. The coach was talking about applying pressure to one wound, and he was talking about an abdominal wound, not a chest wound. That's what I was trying to say. He didn't say anything about a chest wound. He said an abdominal wound, which is missing from the diagram. Jane could have left it out on purpose when she saw what was going on. Egypt, she took out the wrong womb context. She took out the wrong womb. She took out the wrong womb. I hope she didn't do that because that would be bad for all court recorders because they would scrutinize everything from the evidence that is missing from the transcript. Thank you so much, Frank. Great information. Love you, sis. Thank you, Velsters. Thank you, Velsters. This is a horse and a pony show. None of the scenarios matter. Right? That's what I'm saying, Blake Diamond. Why not talking about the facts in the case? Oh my gosh. I hope the new defense eat up all the testimonies, even with the medical examiner. First of all, medical examiner, why the case number is different. Medical examiner, why the name is missing. Medical examiner, why the age is missing. Medical examiner, why the date is missing. Medical examiner, why is the abdominal wound missing. Medical examiner, where is your stamp. Medical examiner, where is your signature. Just by that alone. Medical examiner, why you didn't bring the official autopsy. Medical examiner, why you didn't bring the toxicology report. Oh man, the new legal defense is about to eat her up. Yes, and the former defense should have focused on it. Facts. Said Karmelo, there's no red stuff from Austin on him. Right, Betty Boo. Roach Jr. had to wait 30 days had to wait 30 days in order for an appeal was filed to talk about the case, but he was for sure. Yes, and he talked too soon. We are so glad that he had the ego that he had. No chest wound that killed him. Come on with it. Not chest wound that killed him. So he had an abdominal wound and a chest wound. I beg to question no one why the coach that attended to him first didn't even mention the chest wound. Right? Melo would have did it. Right. I agree with you. Melo definitely would have did an abdominal wound because he was sitting down. Yes. So who did, and I beg the question again, who did the chest wound that they're trying to pin on Karmelo Anthony, and they didn't even identify, draw the abdominal wound? Let's see here. Glad he did. This is why you have to let the fools run their mouth. Yes, yes, yes. Let the fools run their mouth. Yes. Free Karmelo Anthony. Free Karmelo. What's up, cutie pie? One thing for sure, I can't stand on Karmelo was standing his ground. Yes, Black Diamond. Yes, yes, yes. Well, it's not hard for Roach Jr. because he is dumb and talked about this case and it wasn't even 48 hours old, and that's a no-no. Do you think to coordinate that interview, it only took 24 hours? I think he had already planned. I think he already planned that interview. I'm sorry. Wow, crazy. Release the autopsy of the video. Sounds like Austin ran to the I never got that. It was just right. I did hear it's hard to recuse a judge. Right. Come on with it. Come on with it. Thank you, Shirley. Right, you right, cause they said it's hard to get a judge off of one of his cases, and I be darn did it. Judge Sid Harle did it under 1 hour, under 61 minutes, because they said in 1 hour he had granted the motion. It didn't even take an hour and a half. That's why for tomorrow, it shouldn't even take 3 hours. Based off those 4 grounds. Based off the 4 grounds, Also, they're not through to Judge Roach because this is not for. Ooh, I heard that too. I heard he had some ethical issues in the past too. I forgot where I heard that from. I think I heard that too. White. Oh, Roach was recused, and that means the state supreme. Ooh. Listen, this is my opinion. I'm gonna let y'all go because I know I got to get up in 10 minutes. This is my opinion only. I'm gonna keep this under 2 hours and 20 minutes. This is my opinion. You know, when it comes to a judge, right? Let's say Judge Sid Harle, only certain things that he can address, right? That was in scope for the motion to recuse John Roach. But you know what, if I was Sid, I would have to peek at some other stuff. I would have to peek in the appeal packet myself. Just to be curious. Like, okay, well, let me read something about this case. And all he had to do was keep doing. Ooh. Hey, off the record, you ever heard of off the record? Hey, off the record, let me look at the evidence. What? You can't even see nothing on that video. Hold on. If Sid Harle off the record peeked at any of this stuff, recused judge, go ahead. I grant a new judge to preside over this right here. And they pulled a judge that came out of retirement. Tony, exactly. I'm trying to tell you. Look, judge who, just like they are using parts of Karmelo words, Austin can be used to facts. Austin didn't say he stabbed me. He said, I have been stabbed. Dang, I didn't pick that up. Karen. I didn't pick that up. With all the lies they have said, it won't be surprised that's what autopsy is hidden. And you remember, he wanted all these partial transcripts. I think Jane Duggar made an accident and she left in those abdominal wounds for Redmond. There we go, 2 knives. Hold on. I'm so glad Drew Anthony said ask people to show up and support and wear purple. Tomorrow I will also be wearing purple. We want to help and support the continuous prayers for Karmelo till it is done free. Yes, don't forget to go into prayer tonight because tomorrow is the biggest chunk. Trust me. I'm pretty sure Michael Chitty has already come up with his recommendation. He just need to go through the process to say grant a new trial. Oh my gosh, Texas will fall on his knees. Do you know how many people will start? Listen, the rats and roaches literally is starting to run. Yes, even Judge John Roach. I'm pretty sure he definitely got some questions now. Okay. 2 knives, 2 wounds, and it adds up, yet the prosecutor wanted to paint over the real evidence in the autopsy. This would confuse most jurors, yet they didn't even focus on a reasonable doubt all over this case, right? And why the jury? You mean to tell me the jury didn't hear none of the coach's testimony about abdominal wound? And the prosecution even showed the jury this diagram. He showed in the testimony, it says that Exhibit 90 was shown to the jury. And they didn't even question where's the abdominal wound. Oh, okay. Bunny, Austin did have a lot of enemies and bullies of kids. It's rare, real, error crime. I meant to say Austin. Tony, what if Karmelo was blank in the abdominal? What if blank? Oh, okay. Oh, Austin was hit in the abdominal and they are just being dishonest about the location of the injury. That's exactly what I was saying. That's exactly what I said. What they could have did to the corpse. This abdominal wound is going to show that it's self-defense, but so we got to make it in a place where it can show where the intention, where it could be premeditated inward. That's exactly what I was trying to say, Karen. You got it. If you didn't got it, you know exactly. That's exactly what I was trying to say. Come on with it. Ooh. Thanks for reiterating everything else. Cutie Pie, good night, sis. Same to you. Yes, Teresa, I know y'all got to go. I'm finna go too because I got to get up in the morning. I don't agree with that every homicide. Come out. Y'all, you know why she had to say that, Bunny. You know why she had to say that. Because if she would have said undetermined, that would go against the prosecution case. She had to line it up with the prosecution case. That's why I know she was lying. She was lying for the prosecution. Fatal stab in intent to kill Austin and not an accident of self-defense, right? And she either could have said self-defense, but see, that would have go against the prosecution. Teresa, good night, sis. I'll be leaving in a few. Got to go to work at 6. Yes. Let's see here. Good night. Including in all that, this arrest, upper cam with the mic town down low. Yeah, he couldn't hit. Come on. See, y'all remember what we discussed over here. Yes. He could have made the chest wound by being that someone could have been right here. This lines up with a swinging. I'm trying to listen. I can't see it. Karmelo Anthony would have to tell me he made this wound, but still. So if Karmelo Anthony said, "Yes, Tony Talks fast enough, I made this wound," well, Karmelo, who made the abdominal wound? Because somebody, it was an abdominal wound. It was an abdominal wound, and why it's being left out here? Even if it was made, let's say in the fall, which they didn't say he impaled himself on the abdominal, because trust me, if he would have impaled himself through the stomach, ain't no way he could have rose up. I still would have been on the ground if I accidentally impaled myself with a pole or an iron pole. Still, if Karmelo said, "Yes, Miss Tony, I made this," well, Karmelo, who made the abdominal wound? And how did you get at this angle? I still would say, Karmelo, how did you get it at this angle? But you, especially when you're sitting down. Nah, the abdominal wound, What you say? He proved without a shadow of a doubt there could have been, right. That's why I said the prosecution did more damage for his own case and actually supported Karmelo Anthony case. That's why I gave him a 9.8. He did all the work. Cheerleader, yes, exactly, Tony. Cheerleader, hey, he proved there was a shadow of doubt. Come on. That it was only 1-9. Shalom, how you doing? Surely we already figured that from looking at the video and reading the 2 testimonies. All those demons were in to convict Karmelo. May y'all have no mercy on these liars. Facts, 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 facts. If no more messages, I'm sending my email to him now. Sending him emails. Of course, because there was no date, no timestamps, even home cameras or car cameras has it. Okay, if you send it, go ahead. Send it to his defense attorney. Tony, today, Dwayne said the reason we see Karmelo seated first because the video played in court are from all angles. Put the video together to make it look like the twins. Yeah. Oh yeah, we already know that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No. Because the witnesses and like somebody said, the witnesses already said that Karmelo Anthony was under the tent first. They must have forgot that part. They even forgot what the witnesses said. Yo. They forgot what the first witness said, that Karmelo Anthony was already under the tent. And matter of fact, both of the witnesses says that Karmelo actually was not under the tent. He was sitting on a top bleacher where he was partially under it and partially like his legs was under it, but his body was from under the tent. That's what the witnesses said. I didn't say it. I didn't say it. The young man was railroad tail to put another message on. How you holding? Come on with it. Can you please tell him we all love him? Yes. Oh, yes, please tell Karmelo Anthony that. Tell Karmelo we continue to be praying for him and he will be set free. Thank you. Tell Karmelo he will be home soon. We love him and fighting for him. Yes. They figured the current government in office would be a piece of cake. Come on with it. Exactly not for us to stick around, stick together. Tell him we all love him, keeping his head up. Free Karmelo. Anybody want to send a message to Karmelo? I'm sending an email. Thank you so much. And I said it before. Nancy Disgrace owes Karmelo Anthony a definitely apology. They were not expecting this much public attention. Oh Lord, you know how many people online whom not only they, but they thought we didn't have enough common sense to see or do anything because this railroading was sloppy and obvious. What you say? They did not speak of the abdominal wound because the chest wound is what allowed him to pin like I said, whoever did this particular wound right here, they framing Karmelo Anthony for it because the real person that did this wound may be of a prominent family and lineage or even Hunter. They're protecting somebody because they pinning this wound on Karmelo Anthony. Prosecutor may not decide to try him again. Given new defense team will not agree to they. Ooh. All right, let me go to the bottom. Here we go. Hey, Tony, you cooking this up. Thank you so much, Regina. This was unbelievable how they did Karmelo. Yes. Black Diamond, her hands wasn't tied. She knows Metcalf, and she's knowing him. He came in on the autopsy and just put something on paper. Ooh, I agree with you. Tony, I'm fighting sleep. I have to work. I know, Cutie Pie. I can sneak it online in the morning and I watch the replay. Everybody have a good night. I'm about to let y'all go. The document has to be right by the name. Right. I think you have a point with the name on it. Looks like somebody whited out the actual name. Oh, you talking about right here. That line do look a little off. And something does, oh yeah, look at this. Something does look like it's missing right here. Depth 2.5 inches. I don't know what this is. RV full thickness. I don't even know what all this is. Chest cartilage with sternum. I don't even 2-inch gaping. I don't even know what this is, but you're right. I see it now. But this definitely ain't the case number. This definitely is not the case number. I think you have a point with the name. Okay, yep. Yes, it all comes to the light. It comes out at what comes out in the wash. We assume she had dotted her I's and crossed her T's. Turn out she was sloppy, very sloppy. Them people in Collin County thought they got away with the ME working with the cover up. Yes, the state is playing in our face. We're feeling good about a Roach recusal, but this is just a ploy because they already know how Karmelo is going to go. Come on, my people, peep game, y'all. Yes, yes, yes. Same as nobody saw nothing on Horn Island. There are a lot of footage, but the wrong subjects for the. Come on with it. Come on with it, Betty Boop. Come on. If they're gonna do right, won't be a trial, so no appeal will be needed. Alleged it was cardiac arrest that took him out, right? And alleged that it also was what else? DO, it was something in his bloodstream. One of the twins had gloves on, wasn't the aggressor. One of the twins had on gloves, but wasn't the aggressor. Exactly. And why was the autopsy sealed? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, the autopsy is sealed. And yes, y'all see what now do y'all see why they are sealed? The autopsy. We kept saying, well, why is the autopsy sealed if it only supposed to be one? Why? Because it's going to now. Maybe that's one thing that she did right was the autopsy, which is why she didn't bring it to court. But she did not. She was not honest. She has no integrity in this. She lied on this document, y'all. And that's why she probably didn't sign it or seal it or put a stamp on it, because she knows she was lying on this. Because she could say, oh, I didn't sign this. I brought it, I testified to it, but I didn't sign it. I was being coerced myself. I was doing that to protect my job, but I didn't sign it. I didn't put my stamp on it. Y'all, she may use this like that. I heard that too. It was blank in the system. Yes, yes, yes. I truly hope the injustice Karmelo have endured can be reversed and somebody can be held accountable. Or was the jury? Thank you, Egyptian. No witness can be in the room at the same right. So that's how she didn't know that Coach Redmond 48 hours ago, he testified to an abdominal wound, and Jane Duggar forgot to redact it out of the transcript in volume 4, y'all. In volume 4. So anytime on social media, y'all need to ask Collin County, why did the 3D diagram match up with volume 4? Oh, say, hey, there's a surprising facts in volume 4. Y'all, everybody need to know what's in volume 4. Everybody is cooked. The jury already had a get to right. Easy. I feel like when I heard that Roach was recused, it was like ding dong, the witch is dead in the Wizard of Oz. Facts. We have a case of who done it. You right. That's how they do. The part racist devil. This case need to be thrown out. With John Roach being gone and he can't cover and protect no more, I'm pretty sure there's many families that is not sleeping tonight, because if Karmelo Anthony, when the breaking news, Karmelo Anthony has been granted a new trial. Oh my gosh. Do you know 15 to 20 families, including adult coaches, except for Coach Redmond, do you know how many people is about to lose their minds? Okay. Edited the poking in the chest, one of the boys throwing stuff at the trash can. Matter of fact, Cindy, that was the second redacted witness testimony we read the other day, he said, knee to knee with Karmelo Anthony, and he described everything that happened under that tent. So I see the chest wound between the nipples where, amen. Like, let Karmelo Anthony go. Yes, free the young man now. I think he and Hunter did it. Jane Duggar. I'm putting her name out in the atmosphere. It's not odd, it's God. Oh, Betty Boop. It's not odd, it's God. Come on with it. Free Karmelo Anthony. Micah Chitty is the new judge, and pray he is fair and release all the sealed yes. Tomorrow he should request that all sealed documents and the video is sealed within 24 hours or immediately. I want to see the subpoena or whatever the document is called, requesting all evidence to be unsealed immediately. Pat Fallon, AG Ken Paxton. Oh, what are you gonna do? Then? Release it to the defense. And y'all, what are the defense? because they operating meticulously. What if they release the video to the public? Oh, and you know what I can say? Well, the distorted video has been released to the public. Why we can't release the actual crystal clear video to the public in the name of public trust? Oh, they can play this the right way. In the name of public trust, we're about to release the actual footage from Kendall Stadium of April the 2nd, 2025, because to replace the distorted video that Collins County released to show, y'all know how it go, right? Better boop, amen. Another Stacey Turner. We need Barnabas Collins from Dark Shadows to display. They need to let Karmelo go and lock up all of them. Very sad. Yes. Per court website, overflow room audio. For tomorrow? For tomorrow? Hey, user, you still here for tomorrow? For tomorrow? You said that before. It looks like the dugout. So that, hey, user, you said this tomorrow? Please tell me that's tomorrow, because I'm going to go on live tomorrow. User, if you can please say, is that for tomorrow? Is that also for the public? Will it be a live stream, or that's only for the overflow room? I need to go out to the website. Let's see here. Yep. You know. Oh, you know, baby. JM. Yeah. With a shirt in the on the show. Per court website overflow room. The video will be provided for tomorrow's hearing. So it's only for the overflow room. Okay. Forensic Files is my show for years. You really do learn a lot. Yes. They know the position of Karmelo didn't make the deadly chest wound. So let's not focus on a show abdominal wound, because we got the there it is, Bunny. There it go, Bunny. No weapon, no autopsy. If it don't fit, you must have quit. Come on with it. The clothes don't lie. Yeah, the clothes don't lie. The ME thought she could bring in a drawing in of an unknown person and claiming Austin. No signature, no name, a date, no nothing. She didn't even sign her own document. The only thing that matches Austin Metcalf is that it is a male diagram. That's the only thing that can be associated with Austin Metcalf. Not this, not this, not this, not this, not even a case number, not even the name, the age, or the date that it was even drafted on. Man, gone some way. They did it, and now they are discovering it. Hey, didn't they say they didn't want to bring pictures of the body out of respect to Austin's mother? They brought it, but they didn't show it to the gala. They showed it only to the jury. They put it on the emo projection, or whatever they call it. This is groundbreaking. Everything that has happened in this case is not unusual. Railroading is usual, but correcting it isn't. Jurors are only there so it can look like they get everybody played. Everybody played. Everybody played. Everybody played. You're right. Everybody played. You're right. You're right. Yeah, because I feel Sister Judge had already made that comment in the interview. He already told the jury what to say, how long they should say it, and they better not mess up. Yeah, I agree with you. Oh my, yeah, that's what we've been saying this whole entire time for 71 days. 71 days. Let's call it canopy or canopy, not a tent. Well, the only reason we said it was a tent because the witnesses called it a tent. I'm just going by the vernacular and the language of the witnesses. They called it a tent. The coach called it a tent. Truth be revealed. But I got you, user. I got you. User did wound. Eddie did wound. Drugs unalive him allegedly. That's why no toxicology. Facts. I heard that too. Why has the dad stopped talking? The dad been stopped talking since the Karmelo Anthony coalition. Oh, I want to sing y'all the goddamn. I want to show y'all this here. Let me send this to myself so I can upload this. Y'all, do y'all want to see what the coalition, what they came out? I got it from LegalDocs. Shout out to LegalDocs. Let me show y'all what she had put on her channel. Then I'm gonna let y'all go. Let's see here. But she still used, yes. Yeah, this is a total different case number. This is a total different case number. This ain't Austin Metcalf case number. It ain't accurate. You're missing a digit. They do this all the time. Just sometimes they are so sloppy. I'm thinking so too. Karmelo didn't do it. Those thugs spoke that twin facts. They're not going to bring to court. That's in the defendant's favor. Gracie, I wonder what she's got to say now. Matter of fact, I'll bring that up in the morning. Did Emmy do an autopsy or have her assistant? No, she said she did it. She said she did all this. Dr. Elizabeth Ventura said she did the diagram. She said it. And you're right, ain't no seal, no nothing. She said she did this. That's a red flag, sealing a autopsy and then not bringing it to trial. Come on with it. Jesus is Lord. Thank you for the daily, for this day to help Karmelo Anthony. Yeah, yes, they do this all the time. People just don't realize how often for every case that's gone public, there's always many, many more no one know about. Facts. I agree with you. Jesus is Lord. Thank you, God, for helping Karmelo today. Only overflow. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you. Sorry, I wish it was alive. I understand. I will be working, listening. Yes, send it. Yes, send it. Make sure y'all have your notification on because I will be going live Eastern Standard Time, 10:30 or 11 o'clock. Like I said, they say it's supposed to be all day. I don't think it's going to be all day. So I'm going to come on after an hour and a half or 2 hours. We definitely should have something before lunchtime because this should be easy. This should be easy. You see it too up here? Something happened with this line. Something happened up here, but we shall see. Karmelo, the next generation Thurgood Marshall. Come on with it. They said it was zoomed in and you couldn't see what body part. Oh, yeah, like this right here. Like, yeah. See, because all I see is let's call a spade. She said this number here belonged to Austin, which is why I have an issue with the case number on the 2D diagram, because this is a totally different number than the number on the diagram. It's missing the 0. And I'm like, all I can really tell here is it's a white skin. I don't know if it's male or female. I don't know. Now, hypothetically, right? What if somebody came in around the same time as Austin Metcalf that actually had a chest wound instead of abdominal wound? And I think one of the witnesses must have forgot, because if they was coerced to talk about a chest wound, why did that one witness say that the wound was big? Does this look big to y'all? Maybe that witness forgot. Maybe that witness forgot to talk about a chest wound, not the abdominal wound, because he said it was a big wound. Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that witness said, not the coach, because we know what the coach said, but did y'all catch what the witness said? It was a big wound. He slipped. Right now, Tony, those people are losing their minds. Facts. Karmelo Anthony, we still got you. We still got you in our minds. We still got you. We still got you, young man. I can't stand Roach face up over there, Tony. Oh, no. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the same one. I'm sorry. That's the same one. Hold on. I'll play this right here. Hold on. I played it. Oh, he's still over there, y'all. He's still over there. My bad. I'm gonna get through this. Moving Mountain, she shouldn't get any special privileges. Y'all, hold on. I changed it. One second. Let's see here. Here we go. We'll put Karmelo Anthony over there. But I understand. Here we go. Let's see here. I'm almost done with the comments. Should we set these pictures? They shouldn't be stopping this picture being seen. Why do we have to respect the mother of the Metcalf? Who said that? I ain't respecting the mother. I definitely ain't respecting Megan. Megan lied in front of the whole world in both of those interviews and never said nothing that her son was hit twice. She ain't say nothing about a second wound. I don't have respect for nobody. Who said respect somebody? They had people typically not. They tried to play us. They did. Right? They covered right? Next day, Tony, you have and continue to do an excellent job in the case. Rest enough when not work always. Thank you so much. And sound until next time. I'm finna go to y'all. Y'all cannot play. You cannot play kings and queens. The Most High God never leaves us behind. Leave us in the blind. Facts. So, Vestas, I'm about to go. 2 hours and 39 minutes. I'm about to go. Once again, thank you so much. If you're at work or running errands or after work, the live from tomorrow morning will be available. And of course, I'll be back tomorrow night because we will have some good news. Okay. So, Vestas, until next time, make sure you go to get your notes, your drink, and your vest, because we stay vested up over here at Tony Talks, Vested Up Compelling Sports Edge. And I will see y'all tomorrow. See you tomorrow, same time, between 10:30 and 11 o'clock. I definitely be looking for updates, and make sure you have your notification on, okay? I'll talk to you then. Y'all, everybody have a blessed night. Woo! Free Karmelo Anthony, free Karmelo Anthony, free Karmelo Anthony. All right, Vestas.